welcome back to Box News. I'm your host, Chris Hanoveur. Tonight, we cover the crack epidemic, or Crackidemic. Sorry. Anyway, the crack epidemic is sweeping the nation once again. The 2006 U.S. National Survey on Drug Use and Health showed that 8.6 million Americans aged 12 and older have been reported using crack, and 6.9% of those surveyed have been reported using crack cocaine, which includes crack, in the past year. Personally, I don't get the appeal. These hoodlums, who are the primary demographic for the drug, are choosing to slip away from reality and do God knows what, rather than stay in the reality that they have and face adversity. You know, not that I'm saying that reality is always better, but it's better generally to live there than not. What I'm saying is, wait, guys, stop putting it up there. What I mean to say is just that, you know, sometimes reality might not be so good, like when your son keeps telling you have a dad bod, causing legitimate body issues. This crack issue is based primarily out of Atlanta, where young ne'er-do-wells peddle the product to mothers and children down on their luck and essentially torture them. With this money that they gain through these helpless individuals, they're able to gain influence, and they turn to so-called trap music. This music speaks exclusively to the recidivist lifestyle and almost advertises it to impressionable children, the epitome of innocence. For example, Garrett, can you come in here?
No, Dad, you got a dad bod. You got a stupid dad bod, Dad. You got a stupid face and stupid you big ears. You got
Please?
Stupid big. No. You got dad bod. Dad body. You have the body of a father. You're lumpy and you got big ears and a big nose and a big mouth.
Please stop, Garrett.
You got a big mouth, Dad, and dad bod too.
Roll the tape.
Dad bod. You got a dad.
I set out to find the heart of the crackidemic. Sorry. In Atlanta, Georgia, where 1 in 3 men arrested has cocaine in their system. Quote, "It's a totally selfish drug, this crack. It takes over your life, grabs a hold quickly, it doesn't take long at all. The cravings it produces are massive," says former crack addict, I'm assuming, Peter.
Hey, welcome back to Atlanta. This is Box News, and I'm your host, Chris Hanoveur. Here today we have aforementioned crack addict, Peter, and as well as well-known psychiatrist, Seth Peabody.
Hello, it's great to be here. I'd just like to point out I'm not a crack addict. I've never actually done the drug. I'm actually a researcher helping people treat their drugs.
Yeah, it's great to be here. It's great to be here.
Well, anyway, so Peter, what you were saying is you're a researcher. So does that mean you're helping to help these people by making their symptoms disappear?
No, most people think of addiction as a kind of disease. You're approaching this from entirely the wrong angle. I'm helping them, certainly, but to hide their symptoms, no. It's more to help them with their disease.
Peter, I'm gonna be honest. You sound like a crack addict.
He does actually sound like a crack addict. Where do you get your crack, addict?
Well, anyway, that's not important. Here's what I'm gonna say. I'm sure you're helping this community. And what I want to ask is, how do you propose that we end this plague? How do you propose that a community that's taught that it's okay to join gangs and loot stores, how do you propose that they end the crack problem?
Well, I think it all starts with education, which hinges on the fact that they're being raised in a type of environment where this type of self-reliance and distrust of authority is prevalent. And it's going to take some time for a community like this to get over that type of degradation. It all started with the war on drugs and Ronald Reagan.
A noble man with a noble cause.
A living saint. A living saint.
Well, he's dead, and Ronald Reagan's campaign was one built on defending the upper middle class and not worried as much about the African-American, inner-city, urban community.
Well, hold on right there. Ronald Reagan was a president who was mostly concerned with defending the peace and justice that this country was founded on. I think it's unfair for you to say he was targeting any class, and I think it's inconsequential that the lower class you're talking about just so happened to be the class that committed the most crime.
Well, that's not really a fair generalization to make. In the 80s, cocaine was an extremely popular drug, but it was a rich person's drug. Subsequently, it was used mostly by whites and people in the upper class. And both of your lack of knowledge about Reagan's death is kind of not inspiring, but crack was introduced in the poor communities, and it caught on because it was a rich person's drug. After this, the drug blew up and grew, and new and targeting laws were made that set the stage for the racial disparity and conflicts that we see today. For example, you've heard of the 100 to 1 law, 100 to 1 rule. That means for every sentencing for crack cocaine is 100 times more than powdered cocaine. There's just 100 times more. The minimum sentence for crack cocaine possession, 10 years. That trend continues today, where African Americans represent 12% of the population of drug users, but 38% of those arrested for drug offenses, and 59% of those in state prison for a drug offense.
I don't know about those statistics, but here's what I do know. Crack cocaine is a nightmarish drug, and after just one use, you can become addicted.
Okay.
Sure, it might feel good. It might feel good short term, but long term, I can assure you, it's horrible.
Okay, I know crack is obviously bad, but I'm just saying there's more than just people abusing their drug. There's people abusing people.
Yeah, as good as that line is, I'd just like to say your opinion is dumb, you're dumb, and you're probably racist, yeah.
What? No! How dare you call me a racist? How dare you? You have no right. You have no right to be calling me a racist.
Hold on. Let me just say something. Peter, I think it's fair that you should at least listen to Mr. Peabody's opinion before you start singling out such insults.
To wrap it up, I'd just like to say that you're dumb and a racist.
You're dumb! You're dumb and your opinions
that's
are dumb.
all the time we
You're
have.
a racist.
That's all the time we have for this interview. That's
big
all
on
the
you.
time. Nope, all the time. Now we present the result of all of this systemic degradation. Viewer discretion is advised.
I'd like to thank Ronald Reagan for making me famous, although you can't really say I'm entirely blameless. Because of his drug laws, I went to jail for 10 years, 'cause I'm a drug boss, killing, rapping to cheers. Started with a brick and a pot of cooking, then whipping it while the federalities looking. Made 10 bricks and I only buy more corrupt businessmen, but I still go on tour. Had to sell that brick cause I grew up poor. Mama addicted, you know who I'm selling for. Had to sneak out cause I'm the man of the house. Took the road more, taking the popular route, cause now I got kids who need food in their mouth. Everybody now I want to hear you shout. Everybody now I want to hear you shout. Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you, Ronnie!
Journalists only see black and white, but when I turn on the TV, still no black, just white. Still no role models turning into whipping the white, because they don't see blacks is gonna be a fight. When will they finally see their life stuck in this plight? Out of mind, out of sight, and I finally realize what is right and get us out of the boot from the big white knight. Ah!